Okay, I want to introduce you to flowcharting and the concepts of flowcharting in general, and we're going to use this app's Draw.io software that's available on the internet for free of charge. One thing I'd like you to always be thinking about is using standard symbols for flowcharting, and those symbols are the common shapes under general, or you could actually go down to flowchart and they have like a nicer association of those symbols to the actual task. So let's go ahead and think about a flow chart, or a workflow is another way of saying that. For going to a restaurant, you're on vacation and you're going to go into different restaurants and decide where to eat. So that's like conceptually what we're going to go through a workflow on. So I would like for you to always start with your start node there, and we can just simply call it start. And let's say you walk into a restaurant and you are going to look at the menu, right? So that's going to be a task. So the task symbol is actually a rectangle, and so we'll go with that. That's a task or a process, which is to, look at menu, read menu. And so now we have start and read menu, and we want to connect those with an arrow, which you can use. You can just do a general arrow if you want. Here, you can just literally just drag that over there. Okay, so the next task is going to be a decision, and the decision symbol is the diamond there. And the question is, after looking at the menu, reading the menu, should we eat here? That's a question a lot of people determine after looking at the menu. So we'll go ahead and, you could also do the arrow by just literally dragging right off of the symbol if you hold down your mouse key and drag over. So the question is eat here. So there's going to, coming out of a decision, you're going to have a yes, no. So let's go ahead and grab another process. I like to just copy one I've already made because it may be the right size that I need, and I might have adjusted the font. So one choice is no, we're not going to eat here. Or look for other restaurants, right? So that's going to be the end of this workflow for walking into a restaurant. Or we could say, yes, we will eat here. So these are like coming out of the decision symbol, you want to have the different choices represented. So there's one option, and there's another option. And you can literally just write on that. If you said, no, I'm not going to eat here, that's the no, and here's the yes. And the yes choice would be, okay, sit down and eat. Of course, there are other subtasks that could be in there, but we'll just go with that to simplify it. And then you have an end to this workflow. This is just literally representing the case of selecting a restaurant to eat at. And so in both cases, after we're done here, we can just go ahead and say this is the end of the process. And like I said, you could have way more subtasks. You can get carried away with it. But if you just want to represent at a certain level the process, this is a good example of how that would work. I like to line everything up. And we'll just go ahead and say whichever route you took here. One route you ended up sitting down and eating. The other route you've moved on to look for other restaurants. Either way, it's the end of the workflow for, whether or not you eat at that restaurant. So that's generally like a conceptual overview of how flowcharts work. I'm going to be asking you to apply this to Python scripts, which have a number of steps. And so that's going to be a similar process for associating symbols to individual options within your workflow. And again, I would like you to try to, as much as possible, stick to like the common symbology and the common way of flowcharting. I think it'll help in consistency and help me understand what you're doing. And it has essentially been a standard since the early 1900s. Okay, thank you.